You guys should feel super lucky because this is the first time in like 2 weeks that I've actually made the effort to put my makeup on, and it's just for you guys. So you should feel very special. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the year is basically halfway over already. How did that happen? This year feels like it is just flying by, but I guess compared to 2020 that felt like it was 5 years long, everything feels quicker in comparison. But in this video today, I'm going to be revisiting my 2021 reading goals, and we're gonna see if I'm on track so far. Like I said at the time when I filmed that goals video, I set reading goals for the year about things that I want to accomplish or prioritize, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't meet any of the goals. It's not supposed to be a super strict set of rules or anything. These are just the things that I wanted to achieve at the beginning of the year, but sometimes life happens and you can't do everything that you wanted to do. So first up, I had set my Goodreads reading challenge goal for this year at 60 books. And as of now, when I am filming this in July, I have read 43 books. So I am currently 12 books ahead of schedule on my Goodreads goal. It keeps fluctuating back between 11 and 12. Right now it says 12. By the time you're seeing this, it might have gone back down to 11. But that means currently I am on track to read 71 or 72 books, which is crazy to me. Like, I never want to try to rush through reading so I can hit a certain number. I was perfectly happy with reading 60 books. If I read less than that, oh well, it doesn't matter. So the fact that the number has gotten so high is really a little surprising to me. I definitely think the fact that I've started working has me reading more because for my job, I spend 6 hours a day on the computer, and when I get off at work at 4 p.m., I kind of don't want to stare at my screen anymore, so I have been reading more and watching less YouTube because of that. I also did my senior year of college remotely, so that was again a lot of staring at a screen, and I think because of that, I've been reading more in my free time. Next, a goal I had for 2021 was to buy fewer books, read more of the books I already own, and get books from the library more often. I think I've had mixed levels of success with this goal. I crunched the numbers and I think I'm doing okay-ish. So far in 2021, I bought or received as gifts 18 books. Out of those 18 books, I read 5 of them, meaning there are 13 that I still have yet to read since I bought them this year. I think that's okay, but you know, definitely don't want to spend too much money on books and then not read them for a year or two. So with that statistic, we have established that out of the 43 books I've read so far this year, 5 of them were books that I bought in 2021. Well, what about the rest of them? 12 of the books that I have read so far this year were books that I already owned, that I had purchased before 2021. 16 were books that I got from the library. I am happy with how frequently I've been going to the library this year. It's a great resource. Support your local library, kids. And then an additional 10 books were books that I had to read during my final semester in college, so I rented those and then returned them. Not exactly a purchase, because I intended to give them back. I never intended to keep them, but it's kind of, it has to be its own category because it doesn't fit neatly in with any of the others. So my next goal I talked about in that video was to read more classics. Like I mentioned, I graduated college this year, and I made this a goal because I've read a lot of classics for school. They've been assigned reading for me, and I knew that after I graduated, I wasn't going to be assigned books anymore, obviously, so I wanted to make it a priority to continue reading classic literature in my own free time after graduation. And listen, graduation was only less than 2 months ago, so it's not like it's been a long time, but I really haven't read many, if any, classics since then. Looking at my Goodreads, so far this year I read 10 classics, and most, if not all of them, I believed were assigned for school. 10 books out of 43 would be a little less than 25%, I think, if I'm doing my math right. I was not a math major, guys. Not a math and science person. So that's actually not too bad if it's been almost a quarter of my reading. However, I definitely haven't been reading a lot of classics since graduation, so maybe in the second half of the year that's something I will have to make more time for. A couple months ago, I actually had this idea about how I could make reading classics more of a priority. As you guys may or may not know, I do a monthly TBR on my channel where I play a game of Scrabble to get prompts for my reading. And I thought that perhaps I could just take a mug and put classic books written down on slips of paper inside the mug, and then every month, in addition to the 5 books on my Scrabble TBR, I would have to pick out one of the slips and read that book as well, making it 6 books total. I don't know if that's a good idea or if anybody would like to see that, if it would just make the Scrabble TBR too complicated to have the 5 prompts and then also another one picked out of the cup. I don't know if that's something people would like to see, but if you think I should make the Classics Cup a reality, let me know in the comment section. I probably wouldn't start doing it for at least a couple months. My original thinking was that I could start doing it in 2022 and put 12 books in the cup so that by the end of the year I will have read all of them. But then I was also kind of like, well, if there's only 12 slips of paper in the cup, then by the time you get to December, there's no suspense, like you know what it's gonna be. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, if that's something I should try out, if you have any ideas of how to make it better, let me know. Or you can just tell me you think it's a stupid idea, in which case I won't do it. Just be honest, I'm not sure. So the next reading goal, I have totally failed. I wanted to continue reading series that I'm currently in the middle of and hopefully finish a couple before I started any new ones. I made a whole video about series I wanted to finish. I will link that in the card. I never remember which side it is. You know, it's up there somewhere. And I did read the second book in An Ember in the Ashes in 2021 and the second book in the Camelot Rising trilogy. However, that's it. I have not finished either of those series, even though I did technically continue them. And all the other series I mentioned in that video, yeah, haven't made any progress on those. And then I also started 2 new series in 2021. So my goal of finishing the series I'm reading before I started any new ones, total failure. Yeah, that did not work out at all. I still haven't finished Dance with Dragons, which I DNF'd before. I loved Song of Ice and Fire, but I found Dance with Dragons a bit boring, and the finale of Game of Thrones gave me trust issues. I haven't continued Red Queen. I DNF'd Glass Sword like 2 years ago, and I honestly have like no motivation to go back to the series, so who knows if it's ever actually gonna happen. I haven't continued reading the Outlander series, and there was one time where I delusionally thought that I could get caught up to the point where the TV series is at. That's not happening, let's just be honest. Then I also had very mixed feelings about Harry Potter. For those of you who don't know, I was reading the books for the first time in like 2019-ish, I think it was, before a bunch of my subscribers were here. And then I kind of stopped reading it for a little bit, and the reveal that J.K. Rowling is transphobic really put me off. It just didn't feel right, and whether to continue talking about those books on my channel or not is something that I've really struggled with, because I know there's going to be some people who will be disappointed if I don't continue those vlogs again, and I also don't want to diminish the hurt that J.K. Rowling has caused, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm somehow condoning her behavior, but at the same time, I already started reading the books and I really did want to finish them. I really would like to get to the end of the series, and also I own all of them already. My mom bought all these books in like 2007, so it's not like by reading them I would be financially contributing to her in any way, because these were already bought many years ago before we knew these hateful views that she had. So it's just something that I really struggled with, because there's not a clear-cut right thing to do, and I know some people said, yeah, I don't agree with her, but that doesn't take away from the joy the books have given me. And there are some other people who say, the books are ruined for me now because of the hateful beliefs the author has. And both of those are totally valid. I know that in good conscience, I definitely can't give more of my money to J.K. Rowling, because in my personal opinion, I think that would sort of be like me enabling her, or in my personal opinion, I cannot say that I disagree with her and disavow her, but also give her money. I feel like that would make me complicit. That's just my personal take. However, I'm still kind of wanting to finish reading those books because, like I said, I already own them, so I'm not giving her any money by reading them. But I also don't want anyone who watches my channel to feel alienated, because I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I want everybody who comes to my channel to feel happy and have a good time in a great community. So I've been rambling about this for a long time, but yeah, that's kind of why I haven't gotten back to reading the books. I know there are viewers of my channel who really enjoyed those reading Harry Potter for the first time videos, and there are people who would like to see those come back. Maybe in a couple months they will. It's still something that I struggled with a bit. Another one of my goals was to participate in more readathons. In 2020, I participated in 2 readathons, and so far this year, I participated in 1 readathon, and I am currently participating in the Jane Austen July readathon. So far in the first half of the year, I have done the same number of readathons that I did in all of last year. Maybe I'll participate in a 3rd readathon in the second half of the year, but again, I don't want to force anything if I don't have time in my schedule. It's very up in the air, and if I only do 2 readathons in all of 2021, I won't be upset with that or mad at myself for not doing 3 or more. It's just about having fun and what I can fit into my schedule. It's really not that big a deal if I only do 2 readathons. And last but certainly not least, another one of my goals for 2021 was to continue making Scrabble TBR videos, and that's something that I have been doing and I intend to continue doing. It's not always going to be every single month because sometimes I'm busy, or if I'm participating in a readathon, I may not want to do the Scrabble TBR on top of that. However, I think the Scrabble TBRs are going to stick around for quite a while longer. I enjoy making them, and I know there are people out there who really enjoy watching them, so that's not going away anytime soon. So everyone, that is how my 2021 reading goals are going so far this year. Let me know in the comments section, how is your reading going so far this year? What's your favorite book that you've read? Your least favorite? I would really like to hear from you in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every single Wednesday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a splendid rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.